Hey guys, it's Bro You Wack, and welcome to the third and final episode of Makes No Sense, where we cover the anime series Genesis. If you're new to Makes No Sense, we basically take Overwatch Cinematics, or in this case, the Overwatch Anime, and we compare it to the live Overwatch game, and we also talk about things that just don't make no sense. And if you want to see more Makes No Sense episodes, I have a whole entire series covering all the cinematics, and I will make a future episode when Sojourn gets her brand new cinematic. But hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, it's finally time to watch the final episode, Rebirth, and talk about the things that makes no sense.
The United Nations created Overwatch.
No. Jeff Kaplan made Overwatch. Come on, how are you gonna narrate the Overwatch 2 anime and not know who made Overwatch? Like, who hired this guy?
And we won some victories. We thought the tide had turned. Unfortunately, it did not quite work out that way.
Soldier sent me oh my god, how are you gonna have a heal ability, look at your teammates that clearly need to be healed, and not do anything? Like, it's no wonder you're losing the war. You're keeping all the heals to yourself. You're just like the soldiers on my team. Useless!
Any battle we won, the Anubis program was learning from its defeat. We could never beat it the same way twice.
You see, this is why in the Overwatch universe, South Korea has a much better army than the Russians. It's because they hired actual professionals to pilot these mechs. Gamers! Like, look at the scrub piloting this mech. He's a trained military quote-unquote professional, and he's diving the enemy front line with no support or communication? No wonder he's getting absolutely thrashed. You see, at least when Diva dives the enemy by herself, she plans ahead. She already has her ultimate in her back pocket so that she can just spawn her mech right back.
Annihilation, or victory, depending on your point of view, seemed inevitable. And I know I had no choice in the matter. I was under the control of the Anubis program. But it haunts me.
All the Omnics had their major subroutines overridden and
Wait, what is Torbjorn doing there? Like, I didn't even really notice this at first. Like, I know he's an engineer. It's just so funny to see all these professionals in lab coats that are working, trying to win this war. And then there's Torbjorn just big chilling there in his muscle shirt.
controlled by a lone god program. All except one.
Yo, whoever the cameraman is for the cinematic has some sort of personal vendetta against Torbjorn because he completely cut him out of the shot. I know for a fact they could have lowered the tripod just a little bit to include it, but no, they're just showing off how short he really is.
Aurora. Her sentience meant that she was immune to the Anubis directives. But if the AI could interface with all these Omnics, maybe Aurora could too.
She was one of a kind, but we had found a way to replicate her, to transmit her. But the cost would be so incredibly high.
Look, I know this story might be a little bit difficult to follow, but just to understand the magnitude of how big of a deal of this doctor giving up this robot is, this is the equivalent of a Pheromane giving up their mercy pocket. Like, it is just so sad.
Whatever Aurora was looking for on her journey to Shambali, in that moment, she had found it.
We were pretty confident we knew what the results would be. But I will never fully understand.
Oh my god, girl, put that mask back on. Dog, people are worried about the future and robots taking over the earth. Y'all gotta worry about robots catfishing y'all on dating apps because this is gonna be a scary future.
Gave us a chance.
Everything changed. It was the strangest thing I ever saw.
Hold on a second. Is that Sigma? Was Sigma in the army before? Like, what you doing there, baby?
That moment would be known as the awakening.
For the first time in our existence, we were suddenly given a choice. Some chose to lay down their weapons. Some continued to fight the humans.
And that bot right there grew up to be my Overwatch teammates. Absolute trash and only want to fight me, their teammate.
But some of us chose to turn against the AI that had held us captive. We had a choice.
Overwatch seized the moment. They started a counteroffensive.
Alright, so this is another Overwatch ability that just doesn't make any sense. So Reinhardt is holding up a shield for his teammates. I ain't never seen that in my games. Ain't no way Reinhardt's not just charging full throttle into the enemy front line and feeding.
It would take some time, but it was the start of us winning the war. The strikes and counter-strikes eventually drove the enemy forces.
No. See, that Bastion needs to reload. Either he needs to transform and automatic reload, or he needs to reload because he can't be firing for that long.
Collapse. By some small miracle.
Anna, we already went over this in the last episode. You can't one-shot a fully HP target, which by the looks of it, looks like you're putting a freaking sniper hole in that poor robot's body. Also, I just gotta say that robot right next to Anna, he's a snitch, yo, like he's a straight up op for his own kind. I know that's kind of like the whole point of this. It's like kind of like a civil war of Omnics and humans against other Omnics, but bro, it's just so funny. That's like, yeah, that's my boy Bobby there. He owed me $5.
By some small miracle, we infiltrated and quarantined Anubis.
And here's another thing that makes no sense. Soldier 76 can't shoot and run at the same time. I wish he could. I wish it could actually be like Call of Duty, but no. He has to run or he has to shoot. He can't do both.
Months later, the war was over. We had won. I got to know some of them. They are like us. Reflections of us. Some are no good.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself because I said the same thing with my bot-like teammates.
I remember more than anything else is her message. My friends, when I was born,
I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of senses, emotions, choices. I was excited. Alive. It was frightening. But I found in facing fear, there is freedom. And through freedom, you can find your own path.
Wait. Freedom? In my Overwatch game? Nah, you gotta either stick to the meta or something because you don't have the freedom to play any hero you want.
I have chosen to share the discovery with you.
Listen, I'm not trying to stop it in a very sentimental moment, but I just had to point out that there is robot kids. That means that robots had to breed, which means that in the future, there's such things as robussies. Yo, even if those robots catfish me, the future is looking good, yo!
You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.
And what some people choose to do with their one life is be a Hanzo main. And if you ask me, this isn't what Aurora would want. And And that, ladies and gentlemen, was everything in the final episode called Rebirth That Makes No Sense. Now, I know in this episode, and really the whole 3-part series, I didn't really cover Overwatch abilities and compare it to the live game, but that's mainly due to the fact that the anime didn't really focus on the heroes, but rather the Doctor and Aurora and their story. But that doesn't mean this anime was bad. Far from it. It made me want more. It made me want a full-blown anime series covering Overwatch heroes and their stories so that I can compare it to the live game and make even more jokes, but also just to get a really good story. But I still hope you enjoyed the Overwatch anime, but more importantly, enjoyed Makes No Sense coming back. And this was always my favorite series to do back in the day, and I'm so glad they're back to making at least mini cinematics. But again, we will have Sojourn coming in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be bringing another episode of Makes No Sense then. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching more Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.